Okay, so I'm gonna go into the Stoneship age. It's basically like the ship is the island, right? You can see sometimes the ship is coming in and out. Oh god damn it. The ship comes in and out of the rock. I suppose that's why it's the stone ship, right? But it's almost as if each age is a different dream, and all dreams are about the same thing. Or, in an alchemical sense, that each age is a different distillation of some same kind of archetypal reality. At least these first three, including Myst itself, the mechanical age, and the stone ship age, because they are all islands. And here, like the mechanical age, we have an island that is, in a sense, man-made, because a ship is man-made or represents human effort in some way, and it's directional. It has some sort of purpose. It's a vehicle for going somewhere, in the same way that the mechanical age is an island, but it's full of cogs and wheels, right? It has some sort of drive behind it, but at the same time, it's a stationary island sitting on a sea of blue. Could potentially tie into the whole Cirrus and Achenar theme, in that you have the blue throne is the ocean, and on top of the blue throne sits the island. That's why the blue throne, or Achenar, or Atris, are knowledgeable about the nature of the island. And it may even be why Rand Miller plays two characters. Of course, I mean, please understand, I'm sort of reading too much into it, in that I have no idea how many of the things I'm saying are intentional. I suppose very little of them, but at some level it seems to resonate with something, for me at least, that Rand Miller plays two characters, being the character that's most associated to yin and yang, right? Achenar's room was all yin and yang, and then Robin Miller plays one character. And this may be completely unrelated, but Robin Miller plays... So Cirrus has a phoenix in his room, right? Achenar is the snake, Cirrus is the bird in some way. Cirrus is the phoenix, and the phoenix lives forever. It's all about life. Achenar is all about death. Now, Robin Miller played this archetype again in his film Augustus Gladstone, where he also plays a man who has lived forever. So also a sort of phoenix archetype. I would be interested in seeing how his role in abduction kind of plays into this. Anyway, once again, like Cirrus's room, we have a telescope to look at the stars, and through this telescope we're able to see the top. Well, we're able to see the top of that lighthouse over there, and it will come in handy later on. It's 135, right? So, I think the first thing... Okay, I'll just explore the island for a bit. So we have the rock, and we can't go in because everything's flooded. There's water everywhere. So that's the first challenge. Water. This is the first thing that we can actually touch. Right, there's pumps. And then the other place we can go to is this, which used to be flooded. This is the lighthouse, but now is not flooded because I just took all the water out of it. So, anyway, it's pretty interesting, I think. So I'm taking the water out and then I block it again so that water doesn't come back in, and then I'll put water in so that it floats up into the surface. But it's cool that there's like a treasure sunk underneath a big like well full of water. That's very dreamlike to me, very archetypal. Just this image of the treasure sitting in the underworld is nice. Put the water back in. And now we can use the key and open it. So the whole place is in darkness. Nothing's working. That's another interesting thing. It's flooded and there's no electricity. It's flooded and it's dark. Okay. So we have electricity now. I can unflood one of the tunnels. And I think I need to unflood this one. Okay, good. So this is the next step. We go down into the bowels. Maybe all the locations in this place are the same. So maybe now we're going down the staircase. This is also like a windy staircase. It's like the staircase that goes down into the well. I mean, into the lighthouse, right? In a sense, and I might need to do the whole electricity thing again because it has a timer, but the island has a windy staircase up to a telescope. The telescope looks at the stars. So the telescope is almost like a symbol of the stars, of looking towards the stars. Therefore, it's a light. It's a shining light. Is one possibility, right? Then this is a shining light because it's a lighthouse. Both have staircases that go down into the bowels of it. It's almost full. And this staircase, as an image, we've already encountered it in a sense at the very beginning of the game. And when you land in Myst, right? You land in front of the ship, in fact, in the little sort of pier of Myst Island, and you see that there is a door, and you go down, and it takes you down to the virtual sort of screen that has Atris's message on it, basically. And here, this takes us to the rooms of the two children. And this could be, in a sense, the treasure that's underneath the well. Sirius's room. Now we have two versions of Sirius's room to compare. It's very similar to his room in the Mechanical Age. It's very well decorated, very royal, and whoops. No, damn it. Okay, skies, the sky. The dome of the skies, domes, both the skies, both the heavens. This is all decorated with skies and landscapes, right? It's like Sirius's room has the telescope in it. So Sirius, there is an element of movement in Sirius. You're moving out of the shell towards another world, and it's somehow virtualized, right? This is not a real forest. It's just a painting of a forest on the wall. It's not a real sky. But somehow Sirius likes to surround himself with the ideal of breaking free from the confines. He doesn't like limitations. And I suppose Akanar, in his, so Sirius basically then, I suppose, would be Jupiter. maybe. And Achenar could be Saturn. It doesn't make much sense when you think that there is the figure of Atreus, which is the father, because then, you know, I'm not sure, you know, which role Atreus would take if you have to continue doing the Greek and mythology analogy. But anyway, okay. Pills, drugs of some kind, maybe poisons. Sirius's room was full of alcohol, wasn't it? Oh, this symbol is on the door to the planetarium. So the planetarium clearly is Sirius's place, right? Okay, hidden drugs. Maybe an element of... There was alcohol in his room, so maybe there's an element of escapism, right? And in intoxicating yourself in order to break free of limitation. Okay. Food. Walls, right? Wallpaper. He really likes decorating the walls of places. And this is the logo of the troops that attack the mechanical age, I think. Empty page. Cool. Well, I'm not going to take the page yet. There is a secret door here. It's full of water. So this is where we have to put the code of the 135 degrees. And if I remember correctly, this was southeast. So I think it's this. Yes, good. And now this probably takes us to Achenar's room, right? Yes. Nice. Okay, so again, 2 Achenar rooms to compare. Achenar's room in the mechanical age, if we remember correctly, has a bare skin. It has some sort of dried skin hanging on the wall. And it has a monkey face, right? And this also has a skeleton, so also like a skin, a body, the human shell. And once again, faces, masks. So what's going on here, right? Achenar is all about the shell, the human body, precisely the limitation from Sirius's point of view, right? Sirius doesn't want to look at this. He doesn't want to accept or look or encounter mortality, right? The decaying of flesh or change in some sense, right? This also, right? The transition from life to death. This is very similar to the device that Achenar has in the mechanical age in order to understand the mechanics of the ages. And maybe this is another version of it, right? That is to say that the secret to understanding how it all works is change. That because Achenar and Atreus understand the underworld of death, they understand the ages, they understand how it works. Sirius is on the surface. He is more the material kind of expression of it, or the enjoyment of the material expression of it. Everything's really dirty and unkempt. Cool. Maps. Maps. Many maps. Achenar navigates the world, right? Achenar sort of understands how to move through the ages, through the world. So he has all the maps. And there's a note. Mark a switch, island. The vault is located, the island of Myst. Achieved very instructions are each of the marker switches. Turn every one of them into the off position. This is the final step. Okay, so there will be something we'll have to do at the end, which involves turning off the electricity, right? Death, turning off all of the electricity on the island. And it's next to the maps. So this turning off the electricity has something to do with the map, and this also is a map. Turning off the electricity of the rose is somehow the instructions. Okay, well, I'll just grab one of the pages and we can go. So now I can drain the actual ship itself. Nice. So this is pretty cool. This is completely underwater. It has a sort of Riven feel to me, at least. It reminds me of where the art direction would take it in the next game. So you're going to the bottom of the water where the treasure is. And the treasure, whoop, is the linking book. Nice. So again, if the linking book sits on Akanar's blue chair, here the linking book sits in the ocean, the blue chair, and surrounded by checkerboards, black and white. Okay.
Good. More blue pages, you father. Bring more. I must have some more. All I ask of you. Long. It's so long since my brother, Cirrus, wrongfully imprisoned me within this book. Stupid schemes.
It's cool also how Akanar's rooms so far have always had masks in them. And a mask represents a double identity. You wear a mask and you become another person, right? Akanar is two people. He is Atris and he is Akanar. He has two different faces that he wears. Cirrus so far is only one character. But there is obviously also something shady about him. In a sense, you could also look at it as if, you know, these are the two sons of Atris. This is the yin and the yang of Atris. So these are the two masks of Atris. Atris is the middle pillar. Atris is the conjunction of these of Akanar and Cirrus. Anyway, I think I'll leave it here and go to another age next video. Thanks for watching.